Tutu Atwell got $10 million this offseason, but the Rams have barely used him. He has 3 targets, 1 catch for 4 yards in 3 games. Sean McVay mentioned this offseason an admission of not doing a good enough job of utilizing him the last 4 years, and he said Atwell would be on the field a lot more this season. However, he's off to the slowest start of his career since his rookie year, and we're going to get into it. And before we do, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at Ellenbogen and check out today's sponsor, Sleeper. The NFL season is here. In case you didn't know, we're going into week 4, so welcome. Which means you have to get in on the action here. You have to take a chance. 100x your cash on daily fantasy football. You can pick on stats like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to 100x payout on Sleeper. So get your picks right, and you could win big. But, of course, you got to use promo code JKB to get that $100 match on your first deposit. So be sure to use the code JKB and get a $100 match on your first deposit. Link is in the description below. All right, so let's talk about it. We got a quote from Sean McVay, quote, "He's doing what he can control. I think in a lot of instances, our job is to try to be able to win the game," McVay said. "There are a couple chances and some things that you try to call to get guys involved. Ultimately, our job is to play the game how it unfolds. I've been really impressed with just the way that he's handled himself. Our job is to move the ball and score points. We moved the ball pretty well, I thought, offensively yesterday. There were a couple chances that we didn't. Tutu did what he could control within the framework of what was asked of him yesterday. I love Tutu. I think a lot of stuff is made of just trying to maximize guys. There's only one football. I appreciate the heck out of the way he's approached it. I have been pleased with some of the different things that we were able to do yesterday offensively, and we'll keep growing from it, and I want to be able to figure out a way to get him involved. It still is about moving the ball, scoring points, and those are the things that I'm most interested in, while still taking advantage of the guy's skill sets. I really have been appreciative of how he's handled it." Okay, mouthful there. End quote, by the way. Sean McVay, right? Those were his thoughts on Tutu Atwell. He was asked about the lack of utilization of Tutu Atwell on Monday. Atwell started the first 2 games, by the way. Jordan Whittington started this past week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Here are Atwell's stats. In game 1 against the Houston Texans, he had 19 receiving snaps. He had 1 catch for 4 yards. Okay, so you move on to week 2. Against the Titans, 18 receiving snaps, 1 target, 0 catches. And this game, 1 target, 0 catches on 18 receiving snaps. I think it's important to realize why Tutu Atwell may not have the usage that you would want early on. So let's talk about it. First off, Atwell is 5'9", $165 soaking wet. Even though he's a very good blocker considering his frame, he's still not a better blocker than Jordan Whittington. Whittington is 6'1" and 204 pounds, and because of that, it makes it a lot easier for him to stand in there and have impact blocks instead of just throwing a block. Second, Atwell is 5'9" and 165 pounds, meaning he's not a big target. Matthew Stafford likes his big targets. It doesn't mean Atwell can't be a part of the offense, but when push comes to shove, is he going to rely on the 6'2", 205-pound Puka Nacua, 6'1", 215-pound Devontae Adams, 6'1", 204 Jordan Whittington, or 5'9", 165-pound Tutu Atwell? Actions speak louder than words, and Matthew Stafford showed you last year he was more comfortable late in the season throwing to Demarcus Robinson, who is a bigger-bodied receiver than the speedy Atwell. By week 4 last year, the rookie Jordan Whittington, out of the 6th round, a rookie, was out targeting Tutu Atwell. Number 3, Atwell is typically targeted downfield. He is the Rams' deep threat. However, Tutu Atwell isn't going to receive the ball deep down the field if Matthew Stafford doesn't have time to throw. Matthew Stafford's average time to throw this year is 2.53 seconds. This year, that's the quickest in the National Football League, and it's a career high for him, or career low, rather. It was 263 last year, which was 3rd. In 2023, it was 260, which was 7th. And it was 259 in 2022, which was tied for 10th. You go back to the Super Bowl season, Atwell's rookie season, and he had a 2.66, which was good for 11th. As good as the Rams' offensive line has been throughout Atwell's career, it's not the Eagles. So Stafford hasn't had all day to throw, which makes these longer plays harder to make. Simply put, Jalen Hurts had a time to throw closer to the 3-second mark. It's a lot easier to sit there, survey the field, have those long developing plays develop than it is when you have 2.5 seconds to make a decision. The way I see it is the most important variable in deciding Tutu Atwell's season looks like it's the health of the offensive line, and mainly Steve Avila. If Avila comes back and the Rams' pass protection improves and the Rams are still not incorporating Tutu Atwell in the passing game, well, there's nothing more than just a decoy, and you have your answer. Atwell is essentially a $10 million decoy, and the Rams made a colossal mistake spending that much money on a receiver they didn't plan to utilize. Or maybe they did, and they just got lost in the sauce, like how his entire career has been. I think currently it's too early to say for sure, but as it stands right now, it appears the Rams may have fallen in love with the idea of Tutu Atwell, and they haven't quite processed the reality of how they use Tutu Atwell. Now, I can't stress this enough. I see a lot of negativity towards Atwell, but I don't believe this to be his fault at all. He gets open, he blocks, he never complains. Unfortunately, just a really tough situation for him. But by no means has this guy been anything but a true teammate. And when you look, we all know running backs like a Cam Akers or a wide receiver like a Deshaun Jackson have been a part of this team and have complained about their roles and their usage and have been asked for trades. So Atwell hasn't uttered a word, and so therefore I don't think he should be getting the brunt of all the negativity thrown his way. It's not like he's dropping passes left and right. It's not like he, dropped a game-winning touchdown or he missed a key block. He just doesn't really get the opportunity to do a whole lot. But he doesn't complain with it. He doesn't go to the media. He doesn't make a big deal. He doesn't leak anything. He hasn't complained. All he does is he wants to be a Ram. That's what he's done. That to me is a pretty likable guy, I would say. My last point here is how I would utilize Atwell. While there's no doubt his speed can be an issue for other teams, I understand using him as a clear out, but only viewing Atwell as a receiver that can be thrown to over the top, to me, is a mistake. A quick slant with his speed could be just as effective as a deep ball down the field. You look at guys like Save Flowers, the way they're built, a Tyreek Hill. There's no reason why Atwell can't be used in the similar vein. He's talented enough to make defenses pay all over the field, and he shows enough of aggressiveness at the catch point to survive contact and make the big play. Atwell had 8 targets and caught 5 of them for 24 yards against the Colts in 2023, the last time they saw him. Funny enough, the Rams were using Van Jefferson, former second-round pick, just like they're now using Tutu Atwell. The clear-out guy, the decoy, the guy you're not going to throw to. He's just opening up the rest of the field for everybody else. Is Atwell destined for that same fate as Van Jefferson? I genuinely wouldn't be shocked at this point if he is, and he was traded away. This weekend, we shall see. Does Atwell have more than one target in this game? That would be a season high. I think there are opportunities to attack this Colts defense with Atwell's speed, but those safeties, Cameron Bynum and Nick Cross, can be a problem. So I do expect more of the same. Atwell's a clear-out guy. Eventually, you will be able to throw to him, or teams won't buy him as a threat. But I will say this. I'm not saying the Rams have to get Tutu Atwell going in order to win football games, but at this point, you're just wasting a talented and explosive player. And if you don't actually throw to him, it's no different than the play-action passing attack, and you're not running the football. You have to build a resume for defenses to respect. And right now, nobody, when they see 5 on the field, should expect the ball to be going to him. They shouldn't even have to worry about covering him at this point in time. We'll see if that changes. Would love to see him utilized in more than just one role, but that's the way it is. Currently, this looks like an absolute mistake to sign him, because I think it was a mistake for him, because I think he's way too talented. And if he was on a team like the Chiefs, or if he was on a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, guys that have more time in the pocket, I do believe that, and the utilization of speed, I do believe he would get the most bang out of the buck. But for the Rams right now, really confusing as to why they even signed Atwell through 3 games. That said, it's only 3 games. A lot can change very quickly. We'll find out, but be sure to tune in on this channel always for more. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Follow me on social media at JKBogan. Check out today's sponsor, Sleeper. Use code JKB, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later.